I am here with David Lloyd, the CEO of FREDsense. FRED, F-R-E-D, stands for Field Ready Electrochemical Detectors. And what is said on the website is that the detectors are fast, sensitive, and easy to use sensors to detect chemicals in your water. When I see what you're doing and the technology that you have, I'm very excited to be here with you today, David. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, and appreciate the opportunity to be here.
So why don't you please give us a little bit of your background, then give us some background on FREDsense.
Sure. So my background is in analytical chemistry, biochemistry, and synthetic biology. And myself and my co-founders came out of a large genetic engineering competition hosted at formerly MIT called the iGEM competition, where we worked on developing next generation disruptive solutions using biology as the technology platform. We had competed in this competition for several years as undergraduates and graduate students at different universities and have developed what has later become FREDsense's core technology around the use of biological sensors and systems to monitor water contaminants in a variety of different applications. So training and genetically modifying these microbes to selectively measure different types of parameters and then report them electrochemically. So come at this from very much a solutions mindset perspective on the chemistry and analytical side.
Great. So give us some examples of the impact that you've experienced at FREDsense from the people using the technology.
Yeah, absolutely. So some of our users are based within the water quality and utility space, where we're able to design and implement disruptive solutions that change how we think about monitoring water quality and driving insights faster than ever. Our basic system that we have in our first commercialized platform has been focused on arsenic monitoring. Arsenic's a naturally occurring contaminant. In the US, the maximum contaminant limit for arsenic is set to 10 parts per billion, so very low. And there's a massive number of systems that need to actively monitor and treat arsenic in order to meet the health guideline requirements for drinking water applications. And new systems need to be developed for groundwater infrastructure or for surface water monitoring. Arsenic is one of the parameters that we're constantly thinking about from water quality challenges. The FRED system.
Talk about a customer experience with FREDsense.
Sure, absolutely. So we have a variety of customers that utilize our systems within this arsenic context, primarily providing those utilities or those end users an opportunity to be able to drive real-time insights without having to wait for the lab. If you want to get water quality information today, or oftentimes having to wait 1 to 2 weeks to get analytical lab results back. But with this system, you can get that same level of quality information right at the site within a couple of hours, as opposed to having to wait weeks of time to get your. So what this leads to is a pretty substantial savings on the monitoring program and the time that has to be implemented to get this kind of information. And the real-time decision-making aspect then provides operators a tool to optimize their treatment assets and realize some of those savings.
So you detect, then they need to go, and then the person that is using them then needs to go and determine a treatment.
Exactly. So most of our utility customers already have a pre-existing infrastructure, but don't have an ability to optimize that treatment asset because it takes so long to get information that's reliable that they can action right away to driving real-time decisions.
So what are the characteristics of your customers? Is it large utilities, small utilities? Is it HOAs around lakes? I mean, who are your customers?
Sure. So there's 3 groups of customers that we service and provide value towards. The first one is for large utility customers who have large pre-existing infrastructure systems and need ways to empower their field operations teams to drive down the cost of O&M on those assets. The second group is primarily the treatment providers or service providers that help support those end users. Providing these rapid results can be ways of performing pilots faster, validating technology quicker, or implementing these solutions then into small or medium-sized utility systems, reducing that friction in being able to apply these assets to those different application areas. And then there's a large application in investigation and knowledge monitoring program sites. So if you have an aquifer you're trying to understand, you have a large sampling program that you're undertaking and need a way to cover a large area with a complex number of samples, then field technologies like what we provide really increases the speed at which you can process these samples and investigate an area over time.
So as a great span of customers, and certainly it's a science-based, so what motivates you as CEO of FREDsense?
So a couple things. One is that water quality is so central to our lives and to virtually every industry on Earth. And it's one of the most challenging problem areas that we all have to deal with. Water quality touches all of our lives individually or are huge parts of the decision-making program, and being able to provide the right tool for the job to ensure that we're making the most educated decisions on our infrastructure and safeguarding such an important asset is really critical. And what's really exciting as well is, as a technologist, being able to see such a disruptive type of emerging technology using biology as the toolkit to solve this problem is incredibly rewarding and motivating. And in a way, we're using what nature's already given us to solve the problems that we've created around nature to keep all of ourselves clean and healthy for the assets that we have here.
That's great. So what pleasant surprises have you had from being CEO of FREDsense?
Yeah, I think fortunately I have had a few really pleasant surprises throughout this whole journey so far. One of which has just been the openness and reception to new technology that many of our customers and first adopters have been of this system, how open and dedicated water quality professionals and water operations staff have been to improving their systems and driving that important change for what's important to their communities and the stakeholders that they have. It's just been absolutely phenomenal to work with such passionate people to really make a change in communities. And also to see how intersecting different industries and different types of solutions. So for example, what we work on oftentimes is something that is thought of more in a biotechnology or life science space, but seeing how we can take and borrow from some other industries to solve the problems we experience in the clean technology and the water industry space has just been incredible in terms of the type of impact that we can create.
That's really terrific. So you're establishing a partnership with Global Waterworks. There are many organizations out there that you can work with. What do you see as the value of Global Waterworks in the whole, across the whole water spectrum?
Yeah, so we're always looking for ways to have the opportunity to speak more about our value and what we really see as the opportunity for impact with FREDsense, and to really join into the global conversation of what's happening with water and with Global Waterworks. This is really a fantastic opportunity for us to be able to communicate that message and to reach people that may be looking for these types of solutions or looking to change how we think about water quality. So we're really excited at working with different groups to be able to just continue that mission and drive forward positive change across the industry.
And certainly that fits right in with, you know, we connect people, process, and technology to solve water issues locally and then be able to scale it globally, and what you just said really fits into certainly our mission and our vision. So back to you. What do you see for FREDsense next 18, 36 months? What does the future look like?
Yeah, so we're really excited to be partnering with some of the largest companies within the synthetic biology and biotechnology space to really increase the number and types of sensor offerings that we can have on the platform. And with that, the potential to really impact our customers and the water industry as a whole. So we're very excited about implementing many new sensors on the core platform, being able to move these solutions into a variety of new and different types of applications, and expanding the range of the types of water that we can work with. So not just groundwater and drinking water, but moving into more industrial wastewater applications. So very excited to be working with and chatting with passionate water quality experts who have a challenge that they need solved around different parameters that our system can be customized to solve.
You know, it's certainly, your technology is exciting, and it's always nice to see companies coming in and using biology to solve an issue rather than creating a whole different, something out of the ordinary. David, I appreciate the time that you're taking with me today. Thank you so much for having this conversation with me. I look forward to working with you at Global Waterworks and look forward to great success for FREDsense.
Thanks, Frank. Looking forward to it as well.